Hello, and welcome to another session. In this session, we are going to find ways to become more motivated, more driven, more ambitious, in a way that will allow us to become more resourceful, somebody who aspires for a better day tomorrow. Fortunately, at times when we are in situations where we feel stuck and that we are unable to do things, these are the times that we are most in need of finding a way to break out of that doldrum and to seek pathways that will allow us to become more resourceful. This resourcefulness often leads us towards newer achievements, newer goals, things that we never thought of before, as the doors of opportunities opens one after the other, as we embark on a journey to become a better person, more motivated and more inspired. And these are things that most people lack when they need it most. When they want to have motivation to do something, they find themselves seated before a TV or a computer and spending their hours and days just wasting time away. At times they will binge on food that they feel that they have overeaten because they are frustrated with themselves, as they find that they have no motivation to do something. And some people call this procrastination, but I call it the utter stuckness of the mind. Because the mind is a very efficient tool, and when you leave it to fester over little things and unmotivated intentions, then it just happens to go around in circles, trying to repeat patterns. And these patterns are often not productive. And in order to change this paradigm, we are going to embark on a journey now. This journey is going to be one that is going to go through different parts of our experiences and information we have gathered throughout our living years to come to a more deeper understanding of what we are and who we are, and how we may be able to access those parts of our mind that has stored these memories, that inspiration to do things more efficiently and more motivated. So, let us begin. Our first step would be to find ourselves a very comfortable spot. But before we do that, we must ensure that we silence our cell phones or any phone that we may have, and to make sure your laptop or any computer device that you may have is turned off or is put away, far away. Especially cell phones, they should be in another room. And when you're ready to start, you can turn down the lights low if you have lights in the room, or make sure that the lights that are coming from the windows are pretty much shielded away so that you can have a more comfortable, less illuminated environment, so your eyes can close in the due time, allowing you to begin your journey. This journey is going to take about a half hour to 45 minutes, so make sure you let everyone know that you are going to be having this time to yourself, so that you are not disturbed in any way or manner, that you can just enjoy this experience. At the end of this experience, you will find yourself refreshed and feeling reinvigorated. And you might feel the urge to start on a project that you have been waiting on, or be motivated to just start anything. You might find yourself cleaning your room or your house, or you might find yourself organizing things that you needed to do for many, many months that have been stagnant. And now this is the time to begin. So take your position in a comfortable reclining position. I prefer that the position is in a reclining one, not a lying down one. This allows you to keep your concentration on the words that you are hearing, allowing you to experience emotions and allowing you to follow along as you begin this journey. And to facilitate this, I often recommend you put a couple of pillows behind your back and make sure your head is well rested. And you uncross your arms and legs and allow your palms to turn up slightly towards the ceiling. This allows you to be more receptive, open. And as you fixate your eyes to a point in the ceiling or across the room, make sure you keep looking at it with your eyes fixated and try to not blink as much as you need to, because this will allow your eyes to fixate and this will allow you to concentrate. Because when you concentrate on something, your mind knows that you are actually slowing things down. As you slow things down, your mind becomes more attuned to the receptive side of things. It means you are able to hear things better, listen to your senses better. You allow you to connect with your emotional side. This emotional side allows you to achieve things, attach intentions to emotions. As you may know, emotions are what drives us. Motivation is an emotion, and happiness is an emotion. So if you are happy to be motivated, then it is a more of an incentive to move along those lines that bring you pleasure. Just like when you were feeling pleasure from doing something that you really enjoyed. Whether it's good or bad is just relative to what you have attached to it. If, for example, binging is a thing that you often engaged in, that might be something that is counterproductive. Yet that counterproductive side of things is not a detriment in understanding that your mind can attach happiness and motivation to anything. And what you attach your emotions to is a very, very important part of feeling motivated, feeling empowered to do things. This is why I always say you keep looking at that spot, and if your eyes get tired, you can allow your eyelids to close ever so gently and see this big iron curtain comes down and locks like a big garage door that just shuts, and you can hear the sound of it clicking. And you know that now you are inwards. And you will do this up for your own time. Even if you keep your eyes open, eventually your eyes will get tired and wanting to close, as if you have gone into this deep sense of trance. And it's not important whether you'd go into trance with your eyes open or your eyes closed. What is important is the fact that you are in your journey. Journey is about finding ways. And sometimes people resist the temptation of going to a trance. The trance is a wonderful experience. It allows you to see things from a different perspective, to experience things in a more profound way. It is like that ecstasy feeling that you have when you have tasted something wonderful for the first time. It might be the first time you have had a sexual encounter where you have felt the pleasure of orgasmic ecstasy. Whatever that pleasure may be is up to you. It's just a natural sensation that follows. The mind knows that you have the empowerment and the attachment to bring change. Change that is in the right direction. And to do that, we are going to begin by simply allowing that sensation of relaxation to seep in. And that begins by each breath we take. If you take a deep breath in now, you find your chest rising and filling with air. And as you exhale and and out, you find that you have just replenished the oxygen supply. But your mind knows that it's just a sigh of relief, actually, because the mind interprets the air that is coming out of your lungs as a way of allowing you to relax. And the more you relax, the more mind becomes supple and able to bend reality. And what is bending reality? Reality is just subjective experiences. Experiences that we feel that we are in control. Yet the only part that we are in control is the part that we are reactive. Reactive to external stimuli, what someone says, or how things happen, or how you experience certain events. Your mind puts a note on these saying this is pleasurable or this is not pleasurable. And how you attach these emotions is your interpretation. For example, some might find hot food or spicy food to be somewhat unpleasant, or some people might find hot food or spicy food a pleasure to eat because that's what they have trained their minds to see it as. Even such extreme things as pain can be wonderfully pleasant for somebody who enjoys the sensation of pain because it makes them feel more alive. Whatever the attachment you put is only relative to what you feel is important. For example, if you feel that it's important for you to get up and do things at the right time of day, or to get up early and be motivated to get out of bed and start a project, that is the time that you want to be active. Well, you need to be motivated. If you attach the right emotions to that, and you are driven to get out of bed and do things as you would normally do and begin your day successfully, well, that is the part that we are going to work on. Attaching the right emotions to the right feelings and right actions. And what are right actions? Actions that serve you well, that brings you success in your life, bring you happiness in your life. If your life is somewhat of a chaotic sense, well, that can be all altered if you know that you are going to make changes that are going to make you more resourceful, more powerful in achieving your goals. And we begin by setting up goals. These goals are going to drive you towards where you need to go. It's like being in a car that you are going from point A to point B, and you know which road to take and how to get onto the highway so that you can put your car in a cruise control and your mind will just take you there ever so easily. In the meantime, you can enjoy a bit of music, the scenery, even talk to your friend who may be sitting beside you. Whatever you do, it is your mind's autopilot that is going to be in command, taking you towards closer to your goal. Now, the key point here is knowing the direction. If you have no direction, the car can go anywhere. You might be finding yourself going in round and round in a circle. That is what we term procrastination, knowing that you have been stuck in something. And sometimes it's being stuck at home that just drives us insane. Not feeling motivated is what drives us insane. And that is often associated with guilt. And guilt is a very powerful emotion. Yet it is not sufficient to make us feel that we are going to be doing something. It is a very depressive emotion. It makes people just stew over little things and just find excuses. What motivates people is the idea that we are in power, in charge, like driving the car, holding that wheel. Steering wheel just keeps you in the direction. You are in full control. That is the idea. Now, think about it. What would you like yourself to be doing when you get out of bed? Would you be organizing your things, making your projects on certain days? Would you be making changes to the way that you do things? It might be just a simple thing as doing some exercise in the morning or eating right. Some people will make it as easy as making bread or jam in the morning. Baking is a very productive experience. It allows you to have a connection with food. Whatever that goal you may choose to have is just a step towards what you want to do. Now, what you might have been saying to yourself is, oh, I don't feel motivated. Oh, I have so many things to do. Or you might be saying, I just don't want to do it. Well, you might be asking yourself, why do I not want to do it? It's because I just feel that there are reasons why I tell myself that I didn't want to do it. And those excuses were not fruitful. On the one hand, you wanted to have something so much. On the other hand, you blocked yourself from having it. It's called self-sabotage. And just about everybody engages in it in one form or another. But you don't have to engage in it. You just have to take the elevator down to a more deeper state of unconsciousness. That is when you get into an elevator and you are on the 20th floor and it just keeps going down to 19, 18, and 17. And as you watch the numbers going down to 16, 15, 14, your mind just drifts down to a deeper state of unconsciousness. As it goes down to 16, 15, 14, and 12, and skipping 13 along the way, you might be asking yourself, why did it skip 13? Maybe 13 doesn't exist, but your mind keeps drifting down to 11, 10, and 9. And you might find yourself just going down deeper in every little number that just blinks and flashes momentarily as you drift down to 7, and 6, and 5. And your body becomes more limp and loose. Your body sinks into the fabric, and feeling the gravity, you just sink down to 6, 5, and 4. And now you're more and more in deep sleep, but in a way that you hear my voice. Allow your mind to drift. Now 3, 2, 1. While you have only one floor to go, things to slow down from 1 to 0 comes very slow. And at 0, it blinks, boom, and the door opens. And you step out, and this is a wonderful place. This is the depth of your unconscious state. This is where everything is ruled and controlled. This is where your heartbeat is controlled. This is where your body temperature is controlled. And there are all these different departments. There's a department for hormones that allow you to experience pleasure. And there are also departments where the body is able to produce healthy hormones to allow you to lose weight, or to feel motivated, or to feel invigorated, or to heal. These are all there. And there's also a department for digestive systems. There's a department for neurotransmission. There's a department for your brain to operate in the most efficient way. And you might notice some of these were not working as good as they should be. Now that you're here, you are able to inspect and see there are things that you were doing that were not efficient. And when you come to the point where you see the motivation side, you might see that it is not as beautiful as it should be. And magically, you have these beautiful things happen. Everything becomes clear and beautiful, and the whole thing is repaired in shinier form, allowing you to experience wonderful things. This is where that wonderful experiences just are stored. And you see them all in bottled up jars, different memories, different times. And now you're going to allow you to come out and bless you and give you this wonderful direction. Fill you with positivity. This is what you've been wanting to have. You step forward and pull a lever, and this beautiful positive energy just pours over you, filling you with wonderful sense of pride and happiness. You feel motivated and invigorated. You feel like you can do anything. In fact, you feel like you are wide awake and awake, in a sense that you are also dreaming in a state of happiness. And this is the point where you realize that you are actually in a state of unconsciousness, where your unconscious processes are working to a point where you are actually in control of how things operate. Before, everything was operating in its own course without direction. Now that you have filled yourself with joyful energy, positivity, you can feel like you are going to be in charge of things. As you step out of that chamber and you walk off and look back and see the motivational system working perfectly, you walk back towards the elevator. Now the elevator is going to take you up a little bit further, but to a different place, because this elevator not only works vertically, it also works horizontally. And you get inside and you say, I want to go. But the elevator responds, what, where? Well, I want to go to the morning when I wake up and feel motivated. And you hear this beautiful sound saying, right away, sir. And it's almost like it's coming out of a Batman movie where the butler is speaking, saying, right away, sir. And you see the elevator zooming across, and the lights flashing, and you arrive to the next spot. This is where you're going to find yourself, waking up in the morning, but watching yourself from a third-person point of view. You see yourself getting up, feeling totally motivated, doing the things that you would normally do, but with energy and zip, like you would be brushing your teeth or washing your face or preparing yourself for the day. You feel wonderful. You see yourself, observing yourself, getting dressed in the most beautiful thing that you want to wear that day, and begin your day. You see yourself getting through the things that you needed to do, working efficiently, making all those decisions that you need to make, feeling like I'm in control. I'm in total control of what I'm going to be doing today. At no time do you feel tired. You feel energized, invigorated. You feel motivated to do things. And this gives you the edge you've been looking for, so that you are not spending your time festering over little things or losing time, but you want to use your time efficiently. This is where it all shines. And you see this wonderful experience is just folding before you, seeing that you have completed, and you feel proud, and you reward yourself. you make sure you reward yourself, because that is going to be the reward. And times it might be something like an ice cream, but more often it is something that you say to yourself, now I can watch my favorite movie or eat my favorite meal. Or now I can reward myself with spending time with my loved ones because I completed my goals for today. And the next day you can do a different one, or just continue off where you left off. Either way, you are in charge. As you watch yourself and go through your day, you realize that you have actually experienced what your day would be like if you had just allowed yourself to do it, without taking all those critical questions into mind or making judgments or procrastinating. Those are all out the window. And now you are able to see all these and feel that you're empowered. And as the day unwinds and you go back to sleep, you watch yourself sleeping. And for a moment you say, this is what I can do. I have the power to do this. And now you get back into the elevator. We have one more destination to go. And this is a destination where I call the garbage disposal. That's right. You say, why would I need to go to the garbage disposal? Well, this is where you dispose of things that are negative and fruitful. Things like procrastination and depressive mood. Things that you don't need anymore because you've been collecting them ever so long. And now you come with the elevator to the next stop. The doors open and you see this huge machinery of things that are churning things like procrastination and negativity. And they are there. They are nasty. They almost smell. You could feel the metallic vibe of things. Now you're going to do something wonderful, which is to make these machineries dispose of all this and have them stop. So you walk up to the first machine. It says in big large capital letters, procrastination chamber. And what you're going to do is you're going to look at there, and there's going to be a panel. The panel is full of these gadgets. And you're looking at to the left and to the right. In the middle, you're seeing this gauge that says procrastination level. And it's ranging from 0 to 100, and it is ranging around the 85 to 90 level. Now, next to it is a pressure relief valve. You just press on that valve and then it just goes and starts dropping the pressure. You see the gauge go down to 70, 60, 50, 40, and then all the way down to 0. And then the machines just slowly wind down. There's almost no noise coming out. And then there is a stop button there. You just stop, press that stop button, and procrastination just stops. The machinery is actually stalled, doesn't work anymore. And then you close that machinery and you walk away. On the right hand side, there's another machinery. It's called the negativity. You go there and there is this big negativity written on top. And then you go there and you open the machinery latch. You see all these gauges there. Now this is a kind of a different machinery, but it still has that gauge that is showing that negativity is high. That may be 85, 90. And again, you let the pressure release. The machinery just slowly comes to a halt. And you allow the machinery to just come to a kind of a standstill. It will still operate if it needs to, but it's just now dormant. And you know that it's going to remain dormant for a long, long time, because there is nothing that is going to be feeding it. You let it just stay there. And then there is one other machinery we need to visit, and that is called the happiness blocker or the fear. Now that is going to be a one that is going to require a little bit more sensitivity, because fears are there and sometimes we don't see the fears. Fears might come in different forms, like the fear of success, fear of doing things, fear of change. Whatever that fear is, they're all bottled up in different jars and different chambers, but they're all controlled by the same mechanical system that pumps energy into them and then keeps them alive. Now what you're going to do is you're going to look at the panel before you and you're going to see that there are several gauges. What you're going to do is see the gauge that says energy supply. You're going to turn them all the way down to 0. And all of them are going to start shutting down one by one. The fears are going to dissipate and become dormant, and the light is going to go out. This way you'll become fully in control. And now there's going to be one other gauge. It's going to show increasing happiness gauge, and that is going to supply the energy. So you're just going to turn the energy button up to about 85-90 so that it just keeps on supplying, and that's going to come alive like a lamp and provide illumination. You're going to know that this is going to supply the happiness chamber, and the happiness chamber is on another floor, but it's just going to be present here because the happiness chamber was used to be providing equilibrium to negative fearful energies. Now that fearful energies are gone, the energy is now converted into happiness. This is what it's going to do. You can almost hear the woozy sound of energy being coming in, supplying the happiness chamber. Now that you have accomplished this, you are now ready to go back. You see the big elevator doors, you walk towards there, you get inside. Now the elevator is just going to take you back, and you say, to the main floor and up. So, and it says, right away, sir. And the machinery just begins. You hear the elevator go, and you're on ground 0. Now you say it's time to go up and feel the happiness of success, happiness of motivation, the feeling of invigoration. And as it's going to descend up to the 20th floor, you're going to feel invigorated, happy, joyful. You're going to feel like you have all the motivation that you need. And when we come to the 20th floor, and only when we do so, the doors are going to open and you're going to feel very, very energetic and happy and feel motivated. It might be such a point where you may feel like you can begin doing things right away. Or you might just allow yourself to drift down, allowing your unconscious processes to seek more of an attunement so that you can bring everything in alignment to ensure that everything operates and that you are always motivated. Either way, it's going to reveal that you have all the power and all the motivation inside of you, allowing you to experience empowerment and motivation at all times, whether you're asleep or awake. Whether you start a small task or a more complicated project, you will have all that is needed. And to begin this process of going up, we are going to just start watching the numbers, going up to 1, 2, and 3. As you come up, you feel more invigorated and happy and motivated. 6, 7, 8, and 9, and coming up very slowly, feeling the sensations around the room and around the body, feeling invigorated and happy, and 10, 11, 12, and going up and up, feeling very, very still and comfortable, feeling like you have taken a big, long dream, and now you're coming refreshed, and 14, 15, and 16, and now you're coming up to 17, 18, and 19. And as it comes to 20, you can now slowly notice that you are back in your room and the door is open. As you step out of the door, this elevator, you can just notice that you can either choose to keep your eyes closed or open them. Whatever you choose, you are very, very happy and feeling really refreshed. You can keep your eyes closed for a bit longer. You can easily drift off to sleep. And whatever you do, just remember, you always have these resources to come to. This recording is always available for you to become more resourceful at any time you choose to do so. And you can say thank you to yourself for bringing yourself this experience. And remember, if you feel that you have succeeded and feel motivated, please remember to leave a comment in the section below this video so that others may benefit, or perhaps share it with a friend. I'll see you in our next session.